Putty, good afternoon. How you feeling? I am filming you, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
Do you have my permission now?
Do I have your... How you feeling?
I'm naked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tired, but it's good to be here.
Definitely.
Hey, great occasion.
Euphoric, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. And then look forward to the day, and then
Bit of a feed after, is it?
probably
Yeah.
might not be here, but
Oh, you got to go back?
shoot down to Christchurch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what were you saying?
So the question was actually, people didn't think that they'd be able to get enough people to fill all the seats. And what have we been having to do? We haven't started yet, but we've been having to bring in more chairs. The room is packed, high energy. People are saying that it's just a euphoric, exciting day.
It's quite emotional.
Very emotional. Happy birthday to Mana Whaikaha.
Yeah, most definitely. Can you take a photo of us filming Lauren? Oh no, she's done it already.
Ki mai ngā atua o te poa, katu hikararapa ka wira, kato te mahu, au e ki o, ahoto ia te waka, ki e, hoere ki te wiwi, hoere ki te wawa. Kia whakamaua kia tina, hui e, taiki. Hui, au mai, haere mai. Kātangi te titi, kātangi te kāka, kātangi hoki koau, ti hei mauri ora. Ko tātou nei whare, te whare mahana ki a tātou katoa, tēnā koe, te marae, te rohe, mana watu, tēnā koe, tēnā kōrua. Koutou ngā mate, haere ki te poa, moi rā. Moi rā. Kia koutou, ngā manuhiri, o tātou nei tari, o tātou nei mahi, tēnā koutou, nau mai, haere mai, mauria mai tō aroha, mauria mai tō whakaaro pai, mauria mai tō manaaki. Tēnā koutou, a kia ora no tātou katoa. It's with huge pleasure that we welcome you all here today to help us celebrate a momentous day. It is day one of Mana Whaikaha. In Māoridom we use a proverb, a whakatauki, and it is ka pū te ruha, ka hao te rangatahi. In English, what does it mean? It's a fisherman's proverb. It says when the old net gets frayed and broken and no longer catches the fish, it's time to bring in a new net. And that's what we're here today to celebrate, our new net. It is known as Mana Whaikaha. And so now that we look at ka pū te ruha, ka hao te rangatahi, I just want to pay homage and a little respect for the people that sit in front of you today. They are known as the Mid-Central Regional Leadership Group. And it was with their hard mahi, it is with their commitment, it was with their aroha, their manaaki, that helped us get here today as well. And I know out there and amongst all of you, there are many of you who have also been a big part of today. With great thoughts, with critical thinking, with hard decisions that have to be made, all of those things we've gone through in the last 12 months. And so for our people here, I just want to acknowledge them So starting at the top of our list is we have our disabled people, and there are 6 of them. Well, sorry, there were 6 of them. We had some defections. The next people in our group is our whānau and our family people. And I see a lot of you here today from your core group. While your 3 representatives that sit around the table with us, they have huge strength. They have huge compassion. So you have a lot to look to them for. They are great leaders. So use them and use them well. And then we look to some of the others that we have here too, our providers. Our aroha with them is also. And we've seen some of our providers come and go, as they did with a couple of ours from disabled. That mana Whaikaha, they stole one of theirs as well. So those are some of the main people that we have around our table, but there's also other people too that we want to congratulate because they bring to the party strength and robustness too. And that's what our agency people bring along with them as well. We also have mana whenua. You know, biculturalism in New Zealand is our foundation, the way that I see it, because it's those 2 partners that signed up at the very beginning, way back when. And so having mana whenua sitting with us at the table is prima. But I'm going to take my hat off, not literally, but I'm going to take my hat off, and I'm going to say pati, tēnā koe e hoa, because you brought our Pacifica people along for the ride as well. Because far too often has Pacifica been left in the back seat. Well, guess what? We've got a seat for you up front. And it's great to have Rosella and her Pacifica people with us around that table as well. They bring their perspective. And just recently, our big ups and lots of kudos to our people around Regional Leadership Group, because we've entered into another cultural seat as well. We want to welcome on board our deaf community, because they too have differences that they need to be able to get out to the world as well, and they can do that through our Regional Leadership Group. So we look forward to the day when one of our deaf people sits alongside us on Regional Leadership Group as well. Finally, 2 people who brought us here. 2 people who carried a huge amount of the load, and they facilitated us so well. Because in such a group, what's really important is having the hard discussions. Having those talks where people don't agree, but finding a way through those choices. And it's both thanks to Mark and Tina that led us through those many, many discussions where people were hurt, where people found it hard. But we came out the other side. And a lot of that thanks to those people who were having that discussion and the way that Mark and Tina led that through as well. Nō reira, ko tēnei tupihi atu ki a koutou, Regional Leadership Group, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Engari, ki a koutou ngā manuhiri, nau mai, haere mai. Tō koutou whakaro, tō whakoutou mana, tō koutou aroha. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Kia ora koutou. I've been asked to address you as a representative of the Regional Leadership Group. Now, of course I can't speak for whānau, just as whānau can't speak for disabled people. And I can't speak for providers, just as providers cannot speak for disabled people. So I'm going to talk to you as a disabled person, and I'm going to talk to you about the journey this mana Whaikaha is and where it's come from. And I want to talk about our journey is because Peter talked a lot about our journey. And our journey's been a long journey, and it's a journey I've lived. So everything I talk to you about is from lived experience. When I had my accident way back in 1969, there was absolutely nothing to support disabled people like we have today. It was kind of waking up in the dark, and we stumbled and got through the dark, but we got here. And I'd argue that it's only just now we're moving on to the lift-off when we will get true community living and true community support. Now, you know all 1993 was the height of neoliberal madness, and it was also the height of euthanasia. And what we were asked in 1993 was, this is the amount of choice the bureaucrats in Wellington gave us. They said, we're going to consolidate all disability support services in one place. Now, which place do you want? We can consolidate them under the Department of Social Welfare, or we can consolidate them under the Ministry of Health. Because throughout the 80s, disabled people have been arguing strongly for the social model of disability, that it's not our impairments which disable us, but it's the social structures which exclude us. Some of us at the time said, hey, what about a third option? What about a Ministry for Disability Issues? And of course that never came to pass. For me, the next big thing was when in 2011 I came across this document called Enabling Good Lives. And I saw who had written it on the cover. Oh, Lorna Sullivan's involved. Yeah, it's going to be a good document. And I had a read of it. And I said, hallelujah, someone has been listening to us, and they've actually developed a plan which will, a non-disabling plan for disability support. In that 2011 document, there's 10 principles. And then in 2017, or was it 16? 2016, there was a meeting held in Palmerston North where I got introduced to Enabling Good Lives as we now have it. And so the Enabling Good Lives, today is Liftoff Day. It's happening. It's a principle-based disability support system which is strengths-based, and it asks disabled people, what do you want out of your life? And how can we, the system, support you in achieving those things in your life? So for me, this journey's to lift off, to blast off today, has been one of, nigh on 50 years, and it's had a number of points in it, a number of policy changes, but this is the policy change I'm feeling most optimistic about. And I really reckon that it's up to us, up to the kaituhunu, up to the disability community in Mid-Central Health. We've got to make it work, because the rest of Aotearoa New Zealand is watching us. They want it to work for us. They want it to work for them. And if it works for us, it'll work for them. And we will have a society, we would have built a society in which is starting to become more and more non-disabling as disabled people are supported to have the lives they want and to go the places they want within the society. So on that point, I'm going to say roll on mana Whaikaha, blast off. We've got lift off, man. There you go.
How do you pronounce what we're doing now? What is this called? Awkward pause. This is where it gets tricky. What do you do?
That wasn't such good planning.
Thank you.
I'll give you a hōngita break.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jade. Kia ora, Hannah. I'll give you a kiss.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your work that you've done.
Oh, it's only a little bit compared to what Martin's done.
It's going to take a wee while.
Thank you.
Hiya, Hannah.
Thank you,
Kia
Martin.
ora. Thank you. Thank you for bringing Jade.
He brought me.
Thank you, Mark.
It's been a good journey.
Yes.
Thank you for your work and your co-facilitation.
Thank you.
I'm sorry it got missed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jade. Yeah, you were here at the
And
start,
Hannah,
so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You've been
Thank you very
amazing.
much. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, eh?
Thank you, Patty.
Hey, what's going on? Good. Good to see you. Wow! Wow, that was a long line.
But look how it keeps on going.
Yeah. Where do we go? Go to the back so we don't clog up this area over here.
I just wanted to show Jade something. Sorry.
Linda's trying to show you something.
I want to show you something. Just wanted to let you know that you're a media star as always. Because that was
I saw that.
Yeah, cool, eh? I wanted
Thank
to
you.
recognise all the work that everyone had done. And I thought there's all these different groups who've done a huge amount of work. And then there you are again, the two of you.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Honestly.
How are you doing
And
for
everybody-
likes?
So we've got now 22 likes in about 5 minutes, and this one got 261 people reach already, the first one, because we've been sharing it and asking people to share and like as well.
And it's happening just like that.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah, I'm sorry.
I've waited so long for a front-facing Facebook page.
You get to star in it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So now the only thing is to get it to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
We have to do that.
Yeah, we have to do it, I reckon.
And in my video the other day, I said all my mum wanted was some acknowledgement that disabled persons and families are capable of making the choices about what's right for them. Mana Whaikaha is the beginning of that. You heard in Martin's speech, this lays the foundation for a more responsive, a more compatible, a more compassionate, a more human rights-based system. So that's what we're here for. That's what I've been working the last 5, 6, 7 years for. This is Mana Whaikaha. This is what it means to enable good lives. It's been some long days and nights. Working my butt to the bone to do what I need to do, to be effective, to contribute, to add value. But it's all been worth it. There's so many people around the table that have done work as well. You would have heard that in the speeches. It's really hard to put into words. What we've done and what it feels like. On the flight down, I got a little emotional. I felt the lump in my throat. I couldn't contain myself. And now it just feels euphoric, It feels totally and utterly euphoric. And in a minute we're gonna go see if I can get a few words from some of the regional leadership group. We're gonna stick a camera in their face. And get a few words. You heard from Pati earlier. He was part of the Pasifika response team. And, I just want to hear from the people on the ground, because it's one thing for me to know the policy. It's another thing entirely to hear from the people what it means for Palmerston North on the ground. So why don't we do that? Why don't we do that now? Try to find somebody.
I think they're going to find out the true costs of disability. And in mid-central region, there are 33,000 disabled people, in Farrar. But there's only 1,600 receiving disability support services. So there's a huge population in the woodwork which has never received any services, or they've never realised what's available for them, and they're going to. I believe they'll come out the woodwork, because that happened in Whaikaha, didn't it? And
because it was opt-in Whaikaha, but what they didn't expect was how many people wanted to opt-in.
Yeah.
With you guys, it's a little bit different.
It's a bigger territory, but I think word will get out. If things are happening right here, if we're doing it right, word will get out, and there'll be a tsunami. And I think it will be for the better. It'll be for the better for the lives of disabled people and their whānau. But I also think it'll be better for Aotearoa New Zealand as a society.
You don't strike me as someone that can be easily drawn into anything. What actually did it for you in the end, genuinely?
The principles.
Yeah.
The principles, and finally the principles.
Yeah.
And a close second was co-design. Disabled people's hands is all over this. And that's what, like I didn't say when I was talking, I forgot to make that point. In '93, we were given 2 houses, and they said, choose the carpet in one of them. And the difference is here, they said, here's a blank sheet, build something. And I think that's what did it for me. And when we had our first meeting, everyone was saying they were cynical about it and all that. I was always sceptical, because I think, I wasn't going to say, this is just bullshit and dismiss it. I think we got to give this a go, man, because this is what we've been asking for so long.
We're live over here and recording over here. This is amazing. We got mics on. We've taken over the cafe. It's really awesome. I don't even know where to look.
Neither. I'm not sure which lens to be looking at.
High over there and high over there. So just, it was me that asked for this meeting, and it was really hard to engage with everybody that I wanted to, but, October 1st.
Yep.
This is it.
It's it. It's happened. We've got everything launched.
What does it mean now? What does this mean?
It means that people with impairment have more choice over the supports that they have. We've started the process of implementing the principles of EGL. It's the start. It's only going to get better from here. We all know that we're probably going to have a few trip-ups along the way, as you do with wobbly walkers like myself. But it's all about learning. Yeah. Have you got a pun like thing you can put on your video?
A pun alert. Yeah, we'll do a pun alert.
So I'm live on mine, but Jade's recording for later, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm recording for later. This is going to be part of my vlog because, you know, documenting is everything that I'm about.
Yeah.
You know, years from now, we're probably not going to remember this moment.
Probably not.
5 years from now, we'll probably have like a vague idea of how we were feeling, but genuinely, we won't really remember the energy, and I don't want to forget the energy that we're experiencing right now.
And although I was, you know, pretty nervous this morning about my role within the launch event, it went really well, and I am just so looking forward to the next phase of seeing the kaitohuno work with people and implementing real change on the ground.
What is your sense of the Mid-Central Leadership Group and where they're at? What was the vibe that you got from today?
We were all nervous this morning, that's for sure. I think we're all glad that we've gotten to this point. I know that at times we've had some really tough discussions amongst each other, and I would say that more of those will happen moving forward over the next few months. Hey Janet, how's it going?
Good to see you, Janet. Saw you earlier today.
Great to have you there today too, Janet.
Awesome to hang out.
Cindy and the entire People First crew that were there today. So good to see you, so good to have your involvement. What was I saying?
You were talking a little bit about the energy from the regional leadership group.
Yeah, so we were all a bit nervous this morning, but so good to see the last 18 months kind of work come to fruition and actually happening on the ground. So for me it was a little bit surreal as well.
Surreal would be the word.
Yeah, because it's been a lot of talk and a lot of hooey and people going, oh, it's all hooey, no dooey.
Yeah. Nervous about the dooey?
A little bit nervous about the doing, but you know, my first funding panel for the capability and capacity building is on Wednesday, so we're already getting applications, people are interested, people are pumped, and that's what excites me, is that people are excited about dreaming big and dreaming bigger than their current situation.
So you guys are first.
We are.
There's some people that I've talked to around the country that are quite jealous about that.
Yep.
But what would your response be to disabled people around the country that are feeling a bit of FOMO, a bit of fear of
missing out kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I can completely understand where they're coming from. However, the Mid-Central, we've got some specific characteristics that's going to make testing things and trying things out a little bit easier. The last thing think about Auckland, how many people access disability services up there?
I think we're talking, I might be wrong about this, let me know in the chat, but I think it's like 100,000.
Wow, so it's like 1,600 here? You know, so it's a bit smaller scale.
I think it's 100,000 in Auckland.
That's just insane. Can I quit before we roll out to Auckland, please?
You can't. You can't quit. That's not how it works.
No, I won't be quitting. I'm pretty dedicated to moving this forward and progressing it nationwide. But I'd say there's heaps of work to do before we get to that point as well. Exciting to see the kaitohuno there today, and
which I only got to meet one in person. What was the deal with that? Like,
I got so sidetracked I didn't get an opportunity to introduce you to them, Jade.
I was so amped to meet the kaitohuno, but you know, I'd rather they were out there serving the community rather than meeting with me.
Yeah.
There's really no reason to meet with me, but if I ever got the opportunity, I'd be so honoured and privileged. You've got a really good team out here.
Thank you, dude.
For that dance.
And I think Lorna has been really selective in who she's brought on board. We've got a really good crew of kind of lived experience within the kaitohunos as well. Huge variety and diversity, which is really good to see. And yeah, one of them actually said to me, come out for a couple of drinks tonight, Ants. But
who was that one? The one with the glasses?
Ellie.
Won't say her name, but yeah.
No, it wasn't. Even though I've known her for like 18 years, it wasn't her. It was one of the new coaches that I've met in the last few weeks.
Oh wow. We won't ear anybody out. That's not our goal. But
Passionate people, so that's what excites me the most.
we haven't had the opportunity to do content together like this in video. We've done Skype. We've done the
Discord thing over on the Twitch.
We've done the Discord. We've done the Twitch, and shameless plug for the Twitch.
Jade Farrar.
I'll leave a link in the. What's it called? No, I'll leave a link in the section down below there.
Oh, yeah,
I almost forgot.
Description.
Description down below. We'll leave a link to the Twitch.
Hey, Liz.
Please follow the Twitch. We're all about that Twitch right now, and hopefully you're going to be joining us on there apparently.
I'd like to. I've got a Twitch account. It's just I have no idea how to set up like Streamlabs or OBS or what the hell the difference is.
Yeah, we'll get you there in the long run. But
Hey, Mariah.
Since we haven't done any content together, you know,
No, we did one really early on.
Did we?
Yeah, I bailed you up at the Easy Living Centre.
Oh yeah.
And I had big technological
ones.
Yeah.
But you know, you're part of systems transformation. You're part of talent team, but tell us a bit about your background and how that all ties into this whole thing.
Cool. So in '98, I injured some discs in my back. And basically had to learn to walk again, which wasn't very cool, but managed to do it. I guess I spent a few years just kind of drifting and trying to get my head around things. And most people that acquire their disability kind of go through that because you're so used to living as an able-bodied person that it takes a bit of a mind shift to kind of get used to where things are at now. Got involved in parafed and got kind of into wheelchair rugby, wheelchair athletics, got bored with the athletics because it's going around and round and round in circles all day. But then I got an email from Parafed and they were looking for people who were physically fit within their abilities and their functional level and prepared to try new things. And what it was an organisation called Back Up New Zealand, and it was their pilot program, and in a week I kayaked, hiked, rock climbed, skydived, paraglides, did a whole lot of crazy things. Scuba dive, did I say scuba dive? Yep. And I watched a guy with a broken neck who pretty much has his shoulders and neck muscles and that's it. I watched him pull himself up 7 metres of rope. You know, he's got no hand function, so we had some specialised equipment that he used. And for me that was that instant moment where I thought, this is life-changing. If he can do that, what potential do I have? I can get up on crutches, I can generally walk around, and all those sorts of things. So that kind of started me on my outdoors journey. Later that year, I completed a Level 2 certificate in recreation and tourism. And the reason I did that certificate was because the Polytech was a bit worried about the risks that might be involved in working with somebody with impairment. After that, I got my diploma in adventure ecotourism, so that was a 2-year course. I can see it, Jade, if you were checking your screen.
Just checking we're still there.
Yeah. So I got my diploma in adventure ecotourism, done a lot of work with New Zealand Mountain Safety Council in the bushcraft and climbing kind of community. And it's just really developed from there. I've spent a lot of time in the bush with youth. I run an education program for young people that had been asked to leave mainstream education.
Wow.
And that was mainly from the justice side of things.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a little bit about my background. I'm really passionate about seeing people reach their potential, which is why I do what I do. To see those light bulb moments in people when they go, oh wow, this could be awesome for me. If this person can do something, what's stopping me from achieving whatever I want to? I've had hard conversations with people at times, but that goes with the territory, you know. And I guess all of that experience has led me to turning up to that forum, when was it? July last year? June last year?
I can't even remember. I don't even know what day it is today.
1st of October is the launch day.
Oh
man.
yeah. But you know, sort of, what I mean by that is things have moved so fast.
Yeah, for sure.
Like they haven't. Like these bits that we've built up to for a long time.
Yeah.
But there are bits that have just been relevant right at the end.
Yeah.
You know, like even just calling it mana Whaikaha, that wasn't determined until only a couple of months ago.
Yeah, only a couple of months ago. I don't think it was only like 6 weeks ago that we signed off on the branding.
Yeah.
There are still heaps of things in process.
And I said in my video today, and thank you for your positivity.
All good, man. Thank you for your work.
For the vlog a couple of days ago, I put out a video saying thank you and thank you for your positivity around that video. It was actually really hard to make.
Yeah, I could well imagine.
Because I started talking about my mum and you know the kind of things that she wanted to see in a new system, and you know I can proudly say that a lot of what she was asking for, self-determination, choice and control, visibility and you know autonomy over the resource, all of that was stuff that my mum was talking about. So, you know, even though it's not coming to Auckland for a little while, right now my family and I are celebrating. So.
And we're celebrating here in the Manawa too because, we get to try it first, but it's been a huge journey from people like yourself and John and Jerry and
Mark.
Gary and Mark and Tina and Lorna and a whole lot of other people that has got to where we are now. So, you know, people are going, oh, the mid. One thing that kind of got to me today was, the Mid-Central Leadership Group have done an amazing job. Yeah, we have, but it's been on the backs of all you guys, you know?
Well, thank you. And as I always say, you know, the acknowledgement is not necessary. You know, I'm in love with the work, not the title or the job. You know,
I relate, bro.
I do it because I love it. Why do I love it? Not entirely sure. But you know, it comes from a place of I want to see everybody do well, regardless of ability or background. You know, that's always been my catchphrase. Regardless of ability or background, I want to see people do well.
Well, it's like my mission statement, to provide opportunities for people to realise their potential. And that's what we're doing within Mana Whaikaha, is allowing people the chance to think bigger, to go for those pie in the sky type dreams. And we may not be chucking heaps of extra money at them for supports, but there's ways and means of being able to create the life you want within what you've got.
So not to put you on the spot or anything, but...
No, I haven't seen the funding paper yet.
No? No, not even that, but... You know, I'm guessing that the new system applies to you. So, any ideas what you might put in a proposal?
So I'm probably meeting with the connector in the next few weeks. There's some diagnosis stuff that needs doing with me at the moment, so we're working through that. But there's a orthotic, an ankle foot orthotic that's being produced in Canada that I'd really like. That would give me more stability in my feet, and potentially I could head down to a single cane rather than my crutches.
Oh wow.
New set of crutches would be really good, because those ones, I mean, you hear me coming for miles on those ones. That's how old they are. A few people with vision impairment have kind of said, oh, but that's not cool because I won't know you're coming anymore though, ants. But the ones I have are rapidly deteriorating now. Probably work on like bathroom modifications would be really nice. My needs have changed over the last few years, so it would be nice to get like a wet floor done. And we purchased our place with a fairly hefty mortgage in 2001, so we're not going anywhere in a hurry.
Right.
Yeah, so
Sounds like you've thought about it.
yeah, man. It's all stuff that I've been working towards on a private basis for a while, and it's now just getting in touch with the right people to make it happen, I guess.
Not to take the vlog to a kill buzz or anything, but you know, families are worried about the need to employ people. Do you have anything you wanna? Is there anything you're comfortable saying on that at this point, or?
At this point, if you don't want to, you don't have to. That's why we've got host services in order to help you do that. If you're worried about it, we're setting up an employment hub with Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment.
Yeah, awesome name.
There's just too many acronyms in this
I
field,
know,
man.
right? I know.
And they'll be able to provide templates, support families in, contracts, payroll, letting them know what their obligations and requirements are, all those sorts of things. We'll also be running some workshops moving forward on how that happens. People can talk about their own situations, and we can, throw some ideas around. Big picture thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I would say to the families is I know it sounds really stressful, but we want to make this as easy on you as possible because change is hard.
Well, just to round off my vlog, and then, if you want to ask me questions on the live, that's fine, but, just finally for the vlog, is there anything you'd want to say to disabled people and families out there that are still sort of iffy about whether EGL, the principles, the vision, actually apply to them? Is there anything you'd say?
So there's a couple of things I'd say. One is my father actually had a really good point that if we applied EGL across all our social services, that New Zealand could probably end poverty quite quickly.
Wow.
Because it applies to everybody, not just people with disabilities, to be able to get in early in intervention. If you're having trouble with your mental health, physical health, problems at school, we all know that the sooner we can get into something, the better the outcome is going to be.
Absolutely.
Things like mana enhancing, for a lot of us that think in a te ao Māori, it's just the way it is. You enhance people's mana every day. Where was I going with that, Jade? Yeah.
What does it mean? Yeah. For people that think it doesn't mean much to them,
It is relevant for everybody. Start thinking about kind of where you're at and where you want to go, not what shit's going down right now. Think about the bigger picture stuff. Where do I want to go and what are some of the things that I need to get there? Because once you start dreaming and thinking big, your whole world expands and you can start thinking and dreaming big about different parts of your life and move forward across a whole range of things, really.
And last thing before I turn my camera off.
Your camera off, yeah.
I've heard some people say that they're worried that this is only for the able disabled. What do you have to say on that?
We have a range of connectors, many of them who have worked with high and special needs in the past, who hated the systems that they were working under. They want to see families succeed, whether you are high needs, low needs, or in between.
Yeah.
I know the families with high and complex needs have additional things that we need to think about.
Absolutely.
But we've got the people in there to help with that, including things like supported decision making, talking about actually getting the right information to people that they can understand and make informed choice. Because that's what it's about, it's informed choice. There's no point making a choice if you don't understand it.
And I think the bit that we never want to miss out is the fact that we're building empathy into the system by having people that live and breathe lived experience of disability. We've got parents, we've got family members,
we've actually got people with impairment as kaitupono as well.
Yep.
Right the way through the new system, we've got people that have had some, context within the disability community. We've got some newbies too, which I actually think is really exciting because they don't carry some of the old baggage.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good mix.
Hannah's got her finger up. Let's go, Hannah.
What's up,
I've got a
Hannah?
question. Hey guys. So what I was wanting to know from you both, I've heard that some individuals who have lived with cancer disability, they don't know what it means to dream the good life.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
The whole visioning thing.
Yeah. And I can understand where some of those limited thinking models have come from. When you haven't had choice, to actually be given choice is a pretty difficult thing to comprehend.
Certainly.
So it's going to be a lot of conversations with people, really.
It's going to be a journey. It's going to be a lot of meeting up. It's going to be a lot of networking, just like the general population would do. You only find out by networking,
and talking
by
to
tasting,
people,
by engaging, by showing up.
Yep.
You know, all that stuff. Hello to Ellie.
Oh, Ellie. Hey, babe.
Thanks for being here,
Thank
Ellie.
you for being there today.
Good to see you again earlier today.
So Ellie's one of the connectors. You met her,
Yeah, I
right? So
figured-
that means
yeah.
you met two of them.
I figured that because she was on your vlog the other day.
Yeah.
Really good to see you again, Ellie.
Yeah, thank you, Ellie, for your tautoko today and the work that you're moving forward in, babe. Thank you, you're awesome.
Cool, so that'll about do it for my vlog.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
No worries at all, Jade.
Appreciate it.
Before you turn it off, I'm just
Yeah.
going to say thrive, not survive.
Thrive, not survive. You heard it here first, guys.